present Episode 4 in the Green Valley Line, the story of a backcountry railroad in the early years of the 20th century. Suppressed excitement reigns in the little railroad community of Morristown. For the first time in its existence, the Green Valley Line is to have a chance to race with the CK&W for the mail contract. Young Bill Reed, the new assistant superintendent at Morristown, works night and day to have things in readiness. Our scene opens at the roundhouse, where Spider McGee pleads hard with Bill Reed for a chance to fire on the engine that pulls the mail special.
I tell you, Spider, there's nothing doing.
Now listen here, Slim.
No, besides, it's not my department. After all, Conan's the master mechanic here. It's up to him.
Couldn't you put in a word for me?
Nothing doing.
Who's running the mail train out of here?
Morrison is the engineer.
Danny Morrison's all right. But I wish they'd put me on a flyer for him. You know, Slim, there's a lot of talk going on around here.
What kind of talk, Spider?
Well, I ain't mentioning no names, but there's somebody'd be mighty glad to see the Green Valley lose out on this here mail trade.
Just what do you mean by that, Spider? Anything special?
You see, Slim, you sure tied into a tough job here on the Green Valley. And just on account of you and me being buddies a while back, I kind of like to see you put it over.
Yeah.
Although, of course, you being one of the main guys around here and me just a boomer, maybe I hadn't ought to be so familiar.
Oh, that's all right, Spider. We're still buddies, I guess. If you've got anything to say, go ahead and spill it.
Now, you know there's a lot of CK&W men working on this pipe.
Yes?
Not only in the engines and in the roundhouse, but amongst the trainmen and the section foreman.
Oh, I know that, Spider. What of it?
Well, the whole pack of them was taking their orders from Cronin. I figured they're going to pull something on the West End. When that there mail special goes through, look
Sure you're
out.
not just getting suspicious now, Spider.
Dead sure, I tell you. There's some funny work going on.
What do you think is going to happen?
Well, that I ain't figured out yet. But there's 80-odd miles of track through the mountains. Even if they don't fix one on the engine, why, all they got to do is throw a rail somewhere, and that's the end of the chances for the mail contract.
All right, Spider. Thanks a lot. I'll keep my eyes skinned. How's the old 1010?
Oh, shucks. She's all to pieces. Darn shame to see a good engine run down like that. Can't get a thing done to her. All she needs is a couple of days overhauling, and she'd be as good as ever.
All right, Spider. I'm going in to see Cronin. I'll speak about it.
I reckon you won't get much out of Cronin.
Maybe not, but we'll see. And say, another thing, Spider. I'll be working late tonight in the superintendent's office. If you've nothing else to do, I'd like you to drop in around 10 o'clock. Come in the back entrance.
What? Hey, what do you think I am, a spotter or something?
No, nothing like that, but we may need your help.
Well, okay. 10 o'clock, then.
Sure you don't forget now.
Okay, I won't.
Good morning, Cronin.
Oh, good morning. Come in. I've been expecting to see you. Been back east, ain't you?
That's right. Just got back yesterday.
Well, I was a big chief.
You mean my father?
Sure, I used to work for him. Kind of looks as though I'll be working for him again pretty soon.
You mean the rumor about the Green Valley being taken over by the CK&W?
Rumor? When there's certainty, ain't it?
I wouldn't be too sure of that if I were you, Cronin.
Well, that's how she looks to me.
I came to talk about this mail contract job.
Sir, you ain't serious, are you? The Green Valley ain't got a chance in the world to get to swing that contract.
We won't go into that, Cronin, but I'm glad you mentioned it. Gives me an idea of where you stand.
Say,
That's
listen
all
here.
right, and I might as well tell you where I stand. I'm working for the Green Valley. I was the one who arranged for that trial run, and I'm out to make good on it. Get the idea?
Mm-hmm. Now, your old man's going to be tickled to death when he hears about your working against him, ain't he?
Don't worry, he knows about it already. Besides, that's my business. Now let's talk about engines. What have you got for the mail run?
Well, we're tuning up the 590. She's the best engine we get in the West End. She ain't so good.
You mean to say we've only got one engine in fair shape on the West End?
Well, no, there's 3 or 4 engines in good shape, but they ain't got the speed.
I see. What's the matter with this yard engine, the 1010? They seem to be having a lot of trouble on the hill.
Suppose this here Spider McGee's been putting up a holler? If you go around talking to the boomers about the state of things, you'll sure get an earful.
I asked you what was wrong with that engine.
Oh, she's just a bunch of junk and scrap, that's all. Ain't worth fixing.
And yet they say she was a mighty good engine 2 years ago. One of the fastest on the road.
Hey, this here home guard's sure getting some funny ideas.
Cronin, I want the 1010 put in shape.
What? You mean I'm going to waste good material on that old goat?
That's what I said.
Well, what do you want done?
I understand she wants quite a few new tubes, new grates, and I want her tightened up.
I guess you'll have to wait a while. Then, because, well, we ain't got enough men to do the work right now.
You'll have 4 new machinists today. They'll report at 1 o'clock. Put them on the 1010. Have her ready in 48 hours.
Say, you ain't aiming to put her on the mail run, are you?
No, I just want her fixed, that's all.
Oh, well, I guess you'll have to talk to the super and see what he says about it.
Don't waste your time. If you ring him up, you'll find out I've got his authority.
Well, I'll be done.
All right, Cronin. I'll be round this afternoon to see how you're getting on.
I'm blamed if he ain't just as bad as his old man.
Come on, Mickey, let's eat.
Sure, we'll be setting up to the counter. I want to talk to Maggie.
Well, hello, Mickey.
Hello.
And look who's here, the great spider monkey in person. Thought you'd quit us, Spider.
Oh, listen. The way you blowed me off the first night that I came in here with Bill Reed, you're mighty lucky to get me back here again.
Well, maybe I sized him up wrong. They say that friend of yours is sure stirring things up.
Sure, didn't I tell you? Pretty soon you're going to be mighty glad you got them shares in the Green Valley, Maggie.
Gosh, I hope you're right. Well, what do you have, boys?
Give me one of those big T-bone steaks, Maggie. Leave everything on but the horns and the hoofs. Just warm it on both sides and throw it on a plate.
Same for me, Maggie.
And when you're through with the order, I want to talk to you, Maggie. I have a letter from the old country.
I get you, Mickey. I'll be back in a minute.
You know, Mickey, I'm feeling kind of good today. Looks like we're going to get somewhere.
Looks like it, Spider. With the old tin going into the shops for a while for fixing up. I'll be feeling pretty good myself.
Did you pipe the look on Conan's face when we pulled into with the engine?
I did that. I'll be glad when them repairs is done. That felly's a bad actor. He can throw a monkey wrench in until the works, he'll do it.
Not with young Bill watching him. That youngster means business, Mickey.
Well, good luck to the boy. It's an uphill road he's after traveling.
Here you are, boys.
Oh, put her right there, Maggie. Don't nobody talk to me for the next 20 minutes.
What's the news you got from the old country, Mickey?
Well, you remember the little girl I was telling you about?
Sure. You don't mean she's coming out here?
Aye, she's on her way out. I had a letter from my sister Bridget to say the youngster was leaving 3 weeks ago. And I got a telegram from New York that just says she was on her way.
My goodness, then she'll soon be here.
Aye, if she comes straight through, she'll be here on number 10 tomorrow, I'm thinking.
Well, ain't that nice?
You're not forgetting the promise you made me.
Of course not, Mickey. I'll be glad to give her a chance. Has she had any experience?
Well, that was for 3 or 4 years now.
Fine, and she's coming tomorrow. Land's sake, who's going to meet her?
Well, I'll be at the train myself, I'm thinking, if I'm not working. And you could slip out for a few minutes, maybe.
You leave it to me, Mickey. I'll be there. Just think of that girl coming all this way alone. How old is she? What's her name?
I'm thinking she'll be just 18 this fall. Her name is Sheila McGuire.
Fine. I look after her, Mickey. And if she makes out all right, there'll be a job for her at the Green Valley restaurant as long as she wants.
That's mighty generous of you, Maggie, and I'll not be forgetting it.
Oh, shucks, that's nothing. Excuse me now, Mickey. I have to get busy.
Come on now, Mickey. Eat your dinner. There's a mess of stuff to straighten out in that yard, and only a couple of hours before it gets dark. Hurry now.
It's mighty bossy you're getting around here lately, Spider McGee. Anybody think you were running the whole railroad?
Ah, come on. We got to get through. I got some business to do tonight.
Oh, I suppose the superintendent is after consulting you.
Maybe you ain't so far wrong at that.
Yeah,
come on, eat
so.
your dinner.
Come in. Oh, hello, Spider. Come on in.
Evening, Mr. Harkness.
Oh, evening, Spider. Sit down.
Thanks.
Spider, I've been telling the superintendent here about our talk this morning.
Yeah, I'm sure glad you decided to fix up the old 1010.
How are they getting on with her?
Fine. She sure did the right thing putting them local men on to fix her.
Well, what speed do you reckon she can make when she's right, Spider?
Dunno, Mr. Harkness. We had her up to 60 with a train behind her. Of course, she's liable to be kind of stiff when she comes out in the shops.
Yeah, well, maybe you can loosen her up some. There'll be time for that.
Say, you ain't aiming to use her on that mail run, are you?
Well, no, not exactly.
Huh.
We just had an idea or two, that's all.
Oh, good.
You know the West End, Spider?
Guess I oughter. I've been running it pretty regular ever since I've been working on the Green Valley.
What about these CK&W men, Spider?
Well, as I was telling you, there's a whole lot of talk going on. They claim that the mail special ain't ever going to get through the mountains.
Listen, Spider. We get those 2 cars of mail off the S&M at Glassbell on the east end at 1:10 in the morning. It'll be a night run as far as Millwater siding.
I don't reckon you'll have any trouble on the east end. It's open country, and they won't try anything
Oh,
there.
that's what we figure. The special will be into Morristown around 2:30.
Well, what time do you figure to make?
Well, to beat the CK&W time by an hour, we've got to average only 38 miles an hour over the whole run.
Gosh, that's a plenty. It means hitting her up to 65 or 70 on level track.
Sure, we figure we can do that if all goes well.
Sure.
Now, we want you and Mickey to be ready with old 1010.
What for?
We're going to run 1010 ahead of the mail train as a pilot through the mountains.
Good. Gee, whiskers. So that's the layout, eh?
That's the layout.
Hey, what's
What is
that?
it? I don't know.
What is somebody outside of the door?
Outside, come on, let's go, Spider.
treachery in the Green Valley, a race for the mail contract against the power of the big interests. Bill Reed will require all his ingenuity to meet the coming opposition. Don't miss the next episode in the Green Valley Line.